Hi everyone, I'm Evangeline right here at eTrailer. You might have seen me climb all over cars here at eTrailer because I like carrying around all kinds of gear for all those different adventures. But sometimes you might be tired of climbing around on your car. Or maybe you want to bring gear but you don't have a roof rack yet, or your roof rack's already full with a paddleboard or a kayak. Well, today we're taking a look at something called the Benton Basic Hitch. This is going to be a platform that you install into your hitch receiver. And now you have what's pretty much a roof rack, but now it's waist high. So we're going to take a look at some of its features, and I'll also show you some of the cool different configurations that I've figured out for some of my different adventures. But you know what? I would love to see what you get up to with your own basic hitch too. So let's stick around and see if this is the right fit for you. The ease of storage and installation for your basic hitch is huge because this doesn't take up much space inside your garage, but with a press of a button, you can extend out to the shank of your basic hitch. After you've installed this the first time, you'll be able to set your hitch alignment collar and tighten it to the right spot, which makes it so much easier to install in your hitch receiver without even looking. This has the Benton D pin, which has a flat end. That way when you put it in your hitch receiver, this tightens down, and you only need to tighten down the nut with the included stamp wrench. With that secure, you now have 4 different crossbars to work with. The top 2 bars are adjustable long ways crossbars where you can set them as far or as close apart as you want. You can also use the bottom 2 crossbars, which are fixed in place. They're going to be just like the crossbars you might find on a vehicle roof where they run east-west or side to side. Now the distance apart for these bars is going to be 24 inches and 1/8 of an inch. This will function exactly like your regular crossbars. So if you have roof-mounted accessories that need to channel mount, you can do that. You can clamp around or strap around the bars, or you can use each of their anchor points on each end. There are so many things you can put on the basic hitch, but this is one of my favorite configurations. So when I like to go on adventures with a bunch of different people, I'm usually the one that shows up saying, hey, I have a box, don't worry about it. We can carry all the gear right here. So with the 2 Benton shell raisers, I have all this space for all types of cargo. So rather than having to put all this stuff on top of the roof in a roof-mounted box, now I can put it at hitch level height. I have both boxes mounted to the fixed bars on the bottom. So that's why our boxes are mounted front to back, just like they would be on top of the roof. Now with all this space, I can load this up with all types of gear. The basic hitch has a 300-pound evenly distributed weight capacity, which is a lot. At that point, I really need to focus more on how much my vehicle or my hitch capacity is before I have to worry about the basic hitch capacity. I also got to use the basic hitch for a recent ski trip, and that was a fun adventure. I learned some cool things too about the basic hitch, and that is you could put your skis and the boards with a ski carrier onto the top bars. Now with this setup, it's so much easier now to grab all the things. I don't have to reach up onto the roof wearing my ski boots, which can be pretty sketchy sometimes. And something cool that I discovered too is that I can drive around with it in this position or even fold it up against the car depending on how tall or how large the bindings are. So this means my skis and my boards are protected from all the dirt and all the snow that does get kicked up while you drive. And because I know you might be curious what skis would look like long ways, they would look just like this. You could fold them up against the vehicle still. I do recommend having your top crossbars either removed or to the side if that's the route you want to go. And then there's just other adventures where you need to bring literally everything. That's the case for me when I had a rooftop tent on top of my car all my friends and all of our gear was inside the car, but I also wanted to bring my mountain bike just to hit the trails while we were there, and then I still needed a little extra cargo space, especially for our other tent. That's where this setup can come in handy. Now, it really does depend on what you need easy access to. If you want easy access to your bike more often than your box, well, you just switch this configuration around. I usually have the box on the outside because I find myself reaching in there more often than I do find myself grabbing the bike. So things like that are worth considering. And then there's just the regular adventures of life. For example, if you find a really good deal online or at a garage sale and you gotta bring home that new thing right now, well, the Basic Hitch, with its versatility and adaptability, might surprise you with how you can configure it to carry that home. For example, I've been working on the house a little bit, so I have to drop this cabinet off somewhere after work. So I just tossed it onto the Basic Hitch, strapped it down, and we're good to go. I was able to accomplish this with 2 ratchet straps, and we have our anchor points at the end of the bars. Something really cool though are the crossbars, because I adjusted the top crossbars just to work as load stops up against the cabinet, and bonus features that they also hold down the cabinet doors from flopping around. Carrying on this cabinet is a very small example of just the random things you might end up finding you have to transport and load it up onto your hitch. And with this, you have a 300-pound capacity, again, to make sure it is secure. Just make sure that you strap it down properly and that you use at least 2 straps. We have plenty of ratchet strap sets right here at eTrailer that could help you out. And this configuration also means you don't have to have a roof-mounted accessory. The Basic Hitch is enough on its own. Now, personal recommendation though, if you are carrying things for maybe an extended period of time, not just bringing home a cabinet, maybe you're carrying out a generator or a cooler, get yourself a roof-mounted basket that will work as that platform to keep that all contained. You may have an easier experience with that. So as I've used the Basic Hitch for a variety of different situations, spent a lot of time with it. As you saw in this video, I discovered a lot of perks accomplished with the Basic Hitch. A lot of versatility there, a lot of adjustability there too, but there are some quirks to it as well. And these are not deal breakers, these are just things to keep in mind as you use this. And there's always solutions for it too. It really does depend on what you're using this for and what vehicle you're using this on. The first quirk is definitely going to be weight capacity, and that it's not actually a solid number, because the 300 pounds I keep mentioning in this video is going to be for a good evenly distributed weight capacity, but it also depends on your vehicle. Can it handle 300 pounds? Double check that number first. If it is lower than 300, you're going to follow the lower number. The second quirk is that for the best experience, you may need some other things. So we saw the use of ratchet straps. If you want to lock your Basic Hitch, you can check out either locking hitch pins, or we have a locking hitch pin and cable lock set that will work with this system as well. If you notice there's a little bit of rattle with your system, that anti-rattle pin that's included with this will take out that side-to-side movement. But you may notice a little bit of up and down movement when this is empty. So something worth considering there, if you notice it, is the anti-rattle collar from us here at eTrailer. That will help remove that up and down movement as well in situations where it might be a little more than normal. And your crossbar dimensions are pretty similar to most aerodynamic bars. So the good news is most of your clamp around accessories will still fit. And yes, the fit is different from vehicle to vehicle, but with the open grid design of the Basic Hitch, when you have it folded up without any accessories, your chances are still very high for a lot of visibility through your rear view window, visibility of your taillights, and do be mindful of your backup camera. there's gonna be this big old opening here where your backup camera visibility might be a little covered, but you'll still be able to see if there's any large vehicles or people directly behind your vehicle. And those are really just the main stuff that I've noticed about this rack. And this is from just my experience. That's the thing with the Basic Hitch. As a blank canvas, the best I can do is give you some specs, give you some measurements, and how I've used this. Where it will be really, really cool is seeing how you use it for your own unique journeys. And I might ask for some help here. You've seen me use this with some skis and a bike and some cargo boxes. If you use it for anything really interesting or even super random, send in a picture, send in a review. Maybe you might inspire some other people along the way with how they may use the Basic Hitch for all their needs. We have 4 crossbars here, aerodynamic. They have channels. You can strap things around them. You have reflectors, anchor points. You have a solid weight capacity. And this is going to be the blank canvas you can use for your adventures. If you have any questions at any point or want to share your story, reach out to us right here at eTrailer. This was a look at the Benton Basic Hitch. My name is Evangeline, and I hope you enjoyed this journey.